Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Anton, and welcome to today's video for Backpack Battles. What are we doing today? Well, recently we got a patch. Balance patch, so it's probably going to be a fairly quick video here. 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes if I ramble a lot. But there's not honestly too much going on in this patch. A lot of changes that I'm a little iffy about. But yeah, fairly light patch. Still just wanted to go through it all, give my opinions on the changes. But yes, it does have a little bit of information in it, so that is nice. A little bit of information about future major releases. But yes, some balance changes here. So let's start diving in. I have a lot to ramble about here too, so let's dive in. What are we doing here? Patch 0.9.18. We are adjusting the new bags a bit more. Relic case still performed very well, so we will keep monitoring it until it is closer to the other options. Look, I love the game. I'm just saying I love the game. Can Reaper have something, please? As a Reaper player, I feel like I have just played Coffin for so long. Having a bag that actually does something feels good. But to them, I guess Relic case is a little too strong still, so most likely another nerf. We have been working on the last major mechanic we plan to introduce before the full release. Stay tuned for more info on that soon. Smiley face. So, we can't really infer much from this, but we do know that we know two things from this. One, a new major mechanic, obviously. But also, it seems like this will be the last major mechanic before full release, so full release soon-ish? Maybe around January? I believe the devs have said they want to try and aim for early 2025 for a full release. And I believe they have also said that for full release, we'll probably get 2 more classes. I believe the working title of those classes are Adventurer and Mage. They've also given us some mechanic ideas for those classes. Mage will be like very star oriented with like lots of stars to get synergies and stuff like that. And I believe they have said Adventurer will be a class that is very similar to Present, very RNG heavy class, which I'll be honest with you, if that is true, I will be playing that class a lot. Now, let's get into the balance because we have a few things to go through. So, first off, neutral items slightly increase the average value generated by Sack of Surprises. So now I believe you start with I have no idea how much gold you're starting with now. I want to say maybe around 8 gold worth of items alongside your starting bag. So I'm not saying I think Sack of Surprises is the way to go when you're tryharding here, but that extra income, that extra boost of income is pretty nice. The problem is, again, it is random. Sometimes you can get really unlucky and just roll cracked gems, and that kind of sucks when you roll cracked gems. Stable Recombobulator costs from 12 to 9. I really like this change. It is the Stable Recombobulator. It's the Recombobulator that doesn't suck itself up and destroy itself when you use it. I like Recombobulator, the unstable version, the 6 gold version. I like it, especially if it's on sale. I like to buy it because it counts itself. Stable one doesn't suck itself up. So you were kind of just out of 12 gold right away. So it was kind of a really big tempo loss there. So I never really picked it up. I think I played it maybe once or twice, but the tempo loss was just too big for 12 gold. 9 gold, I still don't really want it too much, but maybe if I have a really big stable Recombobulator turn the turn I buy it, maybe with 2 pigs or something and some items or I want to get rid of eventually later. Villain Sword and Blood Harvester are both getting 1 gold cheaper from 8 to 7 gold. Looks like they're buffing some of the uniques here. So that's nice. I still don't feel like it's their gold price. That's the problem with them. I just feel like they've been power crept out by other things. Next up, we got Dancing Dragon from 11 gold to 9 gold. I kind of like that. My other problem with that is, well, 1, it is kind of expensive, but 2, I always felt like Dancing Dragon always just showed up too late, and I was already halfway into a build already, and it was kind of hard to transition to Dancing Dragon. Dancing Dragon itself, though, is a pretty solid item. The fact that it uses stamina does kind of hurt it, though, but whatever. Artifact Stone Death is a little bit cheaper now at 8 gold. I have played that thing a little bit. I still don't really know how to play it. Like, I've tried it even with a bag of rocks. It's okay, but it just feels like a waste. Wolf Badge, Flame Badge are both getting buffed as well. I like this. Battle Rage, an extra half second here. Flame Badge now generates an extra heat. Both very big fans of that. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I feel like outside of a Stone Badge, the rest of the badges, to me, it just feels like you are guaranteeing a loss if you buy them relatively early, because especially at full price for 5 gold. 3 gold, a little bit better, but yeah, at 5 gold, I feel like you're just losing out on 5 gold is just too much to lose out on. That's like a banana and a garlic, which is way better at letting you win in the early game. So it is kind of nice they're buffing this. Small buffs, but buffs. Fanfare, getting buffed again. I feel like this is like the 4th time in a row now they're buffing Fanfare, 4th patch in a row. Cool, I guess, but whatever, in all honesty. Like, it does feel like a slow item, but kind of curious as to why they keep buffing it. I honestly felt like, or I feel like Fanfare is fine as it is now. Really, the problem for me with Fanfare is it's 7 gold. That's a lot of gold. Compared to the other instrument, the Flute, and Flute is 6 gold, I believe. It looks like we got some Amulet buffs here. Amulet of Steel. Block needed to generate that Empower from 40 to 35. Love it. Amulet of Alchemy, 70% now to activate potions again. I actually really like that. The problem is I have to be on a potion build, and really potion builds kind of suck at the moment, outside of maybe like Poison Ivy builds and the occasional Cauldron build, but really Cauldron's not that common. I like this buff, Spike Shield buff, Spike Limit from 3 to 4, so now you can get 4 spikes with your Spike Shield instead of 3. Here's my problem with Spike Shield. I say this on my stream a lot. Spike Shield has a really large problem in that short bows exist. Spike Shield only works with melee weapons. Short bow is a ranged weapon. By buffing Spike Shield, we're kind of just pushing people more and more towards rangers and playing short bows, and the thing is, there are websites out there that track stats. If you actually look at the website that tracks stats, you will see that Ranger is the most played class right now. It's, I think, a 40% play rate or so, somewhere around that. I'm not saying it's because of Spike Shield, but I'm just saying, like, I am not going to be building Spike Shield unless I get, like, at least one of the components on sale. Because, well, one, I don't think it's that good. The buff helps it a bit, but also when there's 40% of the matches are, 40% of the class picks, the picked classes are Rangers, it's just too risky that sometimes you can go into a fight and your opponent's a ranger with like a hero sword and 2 short bows, and sure, the Spike Shield's activating on the hero sword occasionally, but it's not really doing much because of those short bows. And of course, like, spikes don't really proc on ranged attacks too from the short bows as well. So that's my real problem with Spike Shield. It is nice though. It is a nice buff, but meh. Shell Totem nerf. I do like the Shell Totem nerf. Kind of wish they would nerf, like, rocks. Maybe Bag of Rocks as well, but the Shell Totem nerf is nice. I feel like Shell Totem has made early games a little too tempo-y. You know, like torches, Shell Totems, and Bag of Rocks just feels a little too good at the current moment, so I do like this nerf from just slowing it down by 0.1 second. Small nerf, but I like it. Next up, we got Unstable Recombobulator, output goal value +1. I mean, I already like the item, so yeah, nice. Gin Lamp, cooldown from 2 to 1.9 seconds. Honestly, don't really know why they're buffing this one. I honestly feel like Gin Lamp is a really good item. Pretty solid for helping you generate spikes, good Goobert activator, so yeah, I mean, you don't often see Gin Lamps actually proccing and giving the plus, I think it's 27 damage to a weapon, but that's because it's really hard to activate, so interesting buff. I like the item though, so I do like the buff. And then Holy Spear is our final neutral item. Holy Spear is going to go and cost 0.8 stamina instead of 1 stamina. Really like this buff here. Still don't like Holy Spear, still think Holy Spear is a little weak, but the devs have said themselves that they want Holy Spear to be like a secondary utility kind of weapon. And the problem with those secondary utility kind of weapons is that they use up stamina. So I do like this buff. Now, what do we have here? We got classes now. We got Pyromancer. Pyromancer seems to be getting a nerfed here. Offering Bolt, sell value from 6 to 4 gold. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know this thing sold for 6 gold. I don't know why they're nerfing it like this. I don't think too many people were selling their offering bowl, the suck bowl. But sure, maybe more people were selling it than I thought they were. But I've looked at like my rank, higher ranks, and even low ranks too. And I haven't seen too many people selling their offering bowl. I assume it's probably just like, maybe in the late game. It's probably like if you're really, really, really tryharding and sweating it out, what you do is you use the offering bowl, suck up a bunch of items, and then when you finally get enough items that you like, you sell it, buy like a 2x2, and then you've profited by 2 gold, I guess. I mean, that's fine. I don't think that's good enough, but hey, sometimes you need that extra 2 gold, right? Next up, what do we have here? We got Berserker. Berserker looks like they're getting a buff here. Utility Pouch is getting an extra 5% lifesteal. I do like this. I think Utility Pouch is really, really weak compared to Duffel Bag. Not sure this will be enough to help them out. I really feel like the lifesteal in the early game just really sucks compared to Duffel Bag's damage, like flat out damage reduction in terms of early game defense. So I do like this buff though. Next up, we got Ranger. Ranger's getting 2 buffs here. Vineweave Basket now gives you an extra 2% heal amplification, which is solid. And the sale bonus is from 10 to 12%, which is whatever. Rat's also a little faster from 4 to 3.8 seconds. I like that change. Ever since they changed up some of the values so Rat doesn't blind as much, I feel like Rat has kind of fallen off, so I do like this change. As for the Vineweave Basket change, whatever. That's all I can really say about that is just whatever. It's like, I've tried a lot of different Vineweave Basket builds. I'll probably record some attempts too for YouTube later. My problem with Vineweave Basket is that it's not a bad item. Or it's not a bad bag. It's not a bad starting bag. But in comparison to Ranger Bag, the other, well, Ranger Bag, it is bad. It's bad by comparison, but in a standalone vacuum, it's not a bad bag. In fact, if you could get it on Reaper somehow, it'd actually be really, really good. It's just that Ranger just doesn't really care too much about healing, in my opinion, outside of a couple of builds. And more importantly, giving up easy crits in the form of your Ranger Bag is a big loss for, what, some extra healing? That's not enough to me. Yeah, there's a sale bonus thing, but that's, like, negligible. Whatever. And now we got a Reaper. Relic case cooldown from 2.6 to 2.8 seconds. I don't know why they nerfed it. I do get it. It's really strong compared to Coffin, and you're almost always picking Relic case over Coffin because, well, it's not that Relic case is that much more busted. It is pretty strong. It's more that Coffin kind of sucks, and I kind of wish they would have buffed Coffin instead. But sure. I've played a lot of Reaper since this patch came out. Reaper is still fine. Like, she is still a solid class. It does hurt that they nerfed Relic case, but, you know, I can work with it. And if I really am being honest with you, it's probably good for the later health of the game, the future health of the game, whatever. Because 2.6 seconds, even when it first came out at 2.2 seconds, that was way too good. Even I was saying I think it needs a nerf. 2.6 felt a little weak. 2.8 feels also kind of weak too. Now, though, it's not that that Relic case itself feels weak. Now I feel like we're back to the problem of, sure, Relic case is fine. The problem now is that Reaper items kind of suck. Like, Deck of Cards is great, and Chonk is great. And that's kind of it. Scythe is okay. Like, Scythe is a good item in a bad archetype. Poison's bad. She has a couple other builds, though, like Bloodthorn, Rapier, and stuff, but Bloodthorn and Rapier, neither of those are really Reaper builds, or, sorry, Reaper-specific items. Anyway, though, that is it. We got a few more fixes here, bug fixes, I assume. So that's nice, and added rainbow particles when random character moves active. So that's kind of cute. We can even look at it here, I believe. Like, yeah, the dice selected, and you get little question marks floating on your character. So yeah, I like that. That looks pretty cute. But yes, that is the patch. That is the balance patch. Fairly short, like I said. So fairly short video. It's about 15 minutes, I believe. So yeah, I'd love to hear your opinion. What do you think of the balance patch? Feels just like a small balance patch, just meant to correct some stuff, a couple of things, while throwing out a couple of buffs out there too. So nothing major. I really don't think it's going to shake up the meta too much. But what do you think about it? Do you think there is anything that needed to be nerfed or needed to be buffed that didn't get hit? Personally, I feel like Hero Longsword could have eaten a small nerf, but that's mostly because I really hate running against Hero Longsword Rangers who play Mega Clover. Do you think the nerf to Relic Case Reaper was too much? Do you think it was deserved? I'd love to hear your opinions. Also, if you guys just enjoyed the video in general, I would love it if you could leave a like or a comment down below. Always helps me out, always helps out the channel. If you guys also want to keep up with the Backpack Battles content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel as well. If you also want to watch me play some Backpack Battles, you can go and check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Theniton, where I stream pretty much every single day. And if you want to talk to me or talk to others about Backpack Battle and other things, you can go and join the Discord. There's always a link to that pinned in a comment down below. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all again once more for watching this video. And until I see you guys in the next one, bye!